Chord inversions can transform your piano playing, taking you away from that simple beginner sound to chords with smooth transitions that sound more impressive. But learning them can be a slow and tricky process, because just when you think you've got your head around the basic triad chord shapes, as soon as you introduce inversions, suddenly all of those chord shapes change and it can feel like you're back at square one. I'm going to show you how you can efficiently learn all of the inversions so you'll be able to seamlessly use them in your playing, making you an all-round better musician. And what's even better is that the learning approach that I'm about to show you is fun. First, I want you to focus on one group of 4 chords, because if you try to remember all the inversions all at once, it will make it much harder to remember and will take much longer. But here's the trick. Don't just choose 4 random chords. Choose 4 that make a nice sounding chord progression. For example, C major, F major, A minor, and G major. This is called a 1-4-6-5 progression. And if you don't know what that means or don't know how to figure it out, don't worry for now. At the end of the video, I'll give you a whole bunch of chord progressions that will cover all of the main chord inversions that you need to learn. Okay, so once you've got the chord progression, this is how you figure out the inversions. So we're going to start on the C major. That would be your C major root position. To find the first inversion, you take the lowest note there, the C, which is the root of the chord, and you bring it up to the right by 1 octave. So it goes up to there. The other 2 notes are the same, the E and the G. So that would be your C major first inversion. Then you do the same again. You take the lowest note, which is now the E, and you bring it up to the right by 1 full octave, keeping the other 2 notes the same. That is your C major second inversion. And if you do that process one more time, you take the lowest note, which is the furthest to the left, and you take it up to the right by 1 octave, so the G, up to the right by 1 octave. That is back to this C major root position, but 1 octave higher. So there are only 3 variations there, isn't there? You've got the C root, C first, C second, and then the C root, but up an octave. I'll just show you one more example, just to make sure you've got it. So we'll do the F major next, so I'll do it down here. So that's the F major root position. So you take the lowest note, which is the F, up to the right by 1 octave. Other 2 notes the same, the A and the C. That is your F major first inversion. We'll do it again. So you take the lowest note, which is now the A, move it up to the right by 1 full octave. The other 2 notes the same. That'll be your F major second inversion. And once more, take the lowest note, which is now the C, up to the right by 1 octave. Other 2 notes the same. That'd be F major root position, but 1 octave higher. Now that you understand that, what you do is you work through the chord inversions in your right hand, saying out loud the name of the chord inversion each time. And bear with me here, this is just the first step. So you start off in root position, and you keep on inverting the chord all the way up 2 octaves, and then you come back down again. And saying it out loud, you'd go C major root position, and then C major first inversion, C major second inversion, C major root, C major first, C major second, C major root, and then back down you'd go C major second, C major first, C major root, C major second, C major first, and back down to C major root position. And you might feel like you don't need to say it out loud, and you might feel a bit silly doing it. But honestly, the process of verbalising what you're learning will help to strengthen the synapses in your brain, all those connections building and strengthening, and it'll just help you to learn more effectively and efficiently. And eventually, you won't need to say the inversions out loud. Then, when you get comfortable with those inversions, what you do is you add an octave root note in the left hand, as well as pushing the sustain pedal down, which turns it from just going through chord inversions to a really cool sounding exercise, like this. It sounds great, doesn't it? Go through that process for all of those 4 chords. and you'll become more and more familiar with the inversions of those chords. Then you can link them up, playing them in a progression. Then all of a sudden, you've got a really impressive sounding piano exercise, like this. Then what you do is you use that broken chord progression as a warm-up each time you sit down at the piano. And then after a few sessions, you'll be so familiar with those chords and their inversions that they'll literally be ingrained into your soul. And then another thing you can do to practice those inversions is move around the piano using different inversions from those 4 chords. Like this: C root, F second, A minor first, G major second. Then C first, F root, A minor second, and then G major root. And you can do that up and down the piano, and honestly you'll get so familiar with the chords doing that as well. Once you've really nailed that group of 4 chords, you can then move on to another group of 4 chords. And you can also add some extra rhythm in the left hand, like this. You can then even play around with the timing in the left hand and the amount of inversions you're doing in the right. Keep going through this process until you've memorised all of the chord inversions, and then you'll be able to casually use them in your playing whenever you want. And learning the inversions using chord progressions like this really does work because it's fun. So what I'll do in a few moments is leave a graphic up on the screen with chord progression suggestions that you can use that will cover all of the main major and minor triad chords that you need. And if you've enjoyed this lesson, then you may want to check out my range of step-by-step piano courses that are designed to make learning piano easy and fun. I'll leave a link for those in the description below. With chords in mind, check out my video on 9 rhythm patterns for piano chords here. I've been Arthur from Bird's Piano Academy, and I'll leave you with the combinations of chord progression suggestions to work through.